Hi everyone, welcome. This is Pete and welcome to PetieMumbles. As you can see, I'm outside. It's still cold. I took this guy for a walk, so I hope this will be audible for you. And one of my New Year's resolution, still for this year, I decided to upload this video as you requested it, or some of you did, update on my Eurowings assessment day. So here we go. Now, a little disclaimer and apology at the same time. I haven't uploaded in a while, and it was due to I started my leave actually on the 18th of December. Now it's end of December, still 2023. But I actually went for a week to ski in Austria. You might be aware of that if you follow me on certain other social medias, and yeah, it was awesome. Then straight after that I went to my family for Christmas, and then came back home, and you know how it goes. It was you know how it goes. I got lazy, and once you get lazy, I stay lazy. What actually happened is that I started watching Lost from the beginning again, because I've never finished them back in 2008 when I started watching them. So I started watching it again and currently binging on it since. I also actually managed to watch the whole series of Hijack. I highly recommended it. It's aviation theme, so you know I noticed a lot of details, so hope you will too. Is there anything else you are currently watching on Netflix, Disney Plus, Apple TV that you would recommend? Offer me some suggestions down in the comments below. So, Eurowings assessment, guys. As you might know, and I said it before, now it's one of the last days of the 2023. I went for the assessment back in the end of November, and I'll let you know how it went just now. So, 29th of November was the day. It was Wednesday, end of November, which for me was already stressful because the way how notice period, in case you need to give notice, works is it's counted from the following month you give the notice. So meaning if you give it 29th of November, you can it starts ticking from 1st of December. And normal notice period in the Czech Republic is 2 months. However, if you give it on 1st of December, the notice period only starts ticking from 1st of January, if it makes any sense. So that was it. It was very nice day, depending on how you take it, because it was snowing the whole night. So Prague was covered with snow. Now, that's amazing, but usually snow in Prague means chaos. So you can imagine. I decided to drive, so I thought it's going to be disaster, but it actually wasn't, and the roads were actually cleared, so no issues there. I thought I might be a little bit late or running against the time, but it was all good. I managed and actually got to the hotel where the assessment was held quite early, about half an hour early. So I stayed in the parking for about extra 15 minutes, just so not to be there too early. You know, the rule, they start watching you already as soon as you hit the lobby. So I stayed in the parking till it was like 1:45, so 15 minutes ahead, and I made my way to the hotel lobby. In the hotel lobby, I actually found about 14 of us, so 14 people already sitting down talking. So it was really cool, you know, remembering the rules on how to behave on assessment day. I tried to make some small conversation with some of them, and actually got to know that it was pretty easy. And you know why? Because straight at the assessment, or in the lobby, I actually found one person that I already knew from before, which was my ex-colleague from Emirates. We actually used to live in the same building. That was cool. We knew each other, so yeah, I even find some friends there. And then another girl actually was from Emirates as well, and we used to live in the same building. What a coincidence, small world, I guess. So yeah, guys, 14 of us, and as I probably mentioned it before, it was a PERSA assessment day, so one of the seniors on board, so you don't need that many of cabin crew of seniors on one aircraft. So you straight away start assessing the situation, experience, what people are there. Then you kind of start counting your chances, like, do you have a chance? How many people will they select? And stuff like that. But of course, you never know. It's the wings pattern that I applied for was a new program, so you never know how many they will need, how many aircrafts will they order, what's their plan and stuff like that. However, 14 of us was there. That was I think actually, funny enough, there was more male candidates than the female ones. So that was interesting to see. So yeah, I think the assessment started officially at 9 o'clock, so around 9 o'clock. Two people came out and starting asking our names and asking our IDs. So they ticked our names, they gave us the little stickers to write our names on and to put them somewhere visible. And then I think about 9:15 they call us into the meeting hall, the conference room. So the conference hall was actually okay sized room where there was a desk like at school, I would say. There was water, notepads, pencils, and we sat down, and what actually happened is the people from the company representatives actually introduced themselves, and then one of them actually introduced the company. Very basic information and the structure of it. So that was the beginning. Then they said, well, it's time to start. The game is on, and we started. Well, hard to tell now if it surprised me or not, but actually the first task we had to do was a knowledge test. I mean, it was situational questions like what would you do and certain stuff. It was aviation questions as well, and questions about the company. I mean, if you knew a little bit about the company and a little bit of common sense, I guess it was easy. That was the first task. It took about 15 minutes. That was it. First task done. I wasn't nervous at that time, but task number 2, yes, was nervous like hell. As you can see, it's slowly getting dark behind me, so I'll finish task number 2 here and then finish the rest at home or maybe tomorrow. So let's see. Task number 2. It was actually, as you might expect, because we didn't know each other. Nobody really knew anything. So what the task was is to stand up in front of everyone and introduce yourself. Tell something special about yourself. Why are you there today? Why Eurowings? And that should be 1 or 2 minutes introduction. And the rest was, there was a pile of cards on the table, and we were supposed to draw 2 cards and answer the questions that are on them. It wasn't anything difficult. The one I can remember still today is one was, when was the last time you did something for the first time? That was one that my colleague did. And I also remember, what's your goal in life? So questions like that, nothing really difficult. I guess I'm not really 100% sure what they were looking at that question. Probably how you can react on the spot. But I mean, talking about yourself, answering those questions was pretty easy, nothing too difficult. Though I have to say, at that stage, I was nervous. I could hear my voice trembling. I was nervous. You could probably tell if you were in that room. But you know what? They said they expect that we're not going to be calm, that we're going to be stressed. And I can tell my other colleagues were stressed as well. Some you can tell more, some less than the others. There was a girl who actually said when she's stressed, she talks a lot, and therefore her introduction seemed pretty cool and easy, but she said she was stressed. Now I have to say, The hotel where the assessment center was pretty cold. I'm not sure if it was due to the snow or it was just cold. But after the task number 2, we were actually released for a short break until we are called back. So we all went to the lobby. There was a coffee machine with a tea and coffee. So we all went there to warm up with something hot to drink. Now, as we were all nicely congregated in the lobby, like drinking and sipping some tea and coffee, they actually came out and said that's the first part of the elimination process and that they corrected our tests, and that what's going to happen now is, according to the test results and the introduction, they will eliminate some of us. Lucky us at that stage, they said all the tests were good and they all liked us very much so far, so they haven't eliminated anyone. So first elimination process done successfully. Task number 3. Hey everyone, welcome to PetieMumbles. This is Pete, and yeah, as you can see, it's a different day and it's actually 2024, so I actually didn't manage to upload the video. So first fail last fail of the 2024 year, resolution fail. So didn't happen. So sorry about it. But task number 3, what it was. What happened is that once they actually told us that we all passed the first stage, they divided us into 4 or 5 groups, and these groups were then called into the two separate rooms, one group in each room. So, group 1 in room number 1, group 2 in room number 2, the group 3 and 4 were waiting in the lobby. So I was in the group 3 or 4, so I was actually not ready. I was not the first one, so I was not sure what was going on in those rooms. Now, once we got our turn, what happened is, like, we all sat at the table, and the jury, or how you call them, the people assessing us, were actually telling us the task that we have. It was a group discussion where we had 10 minutes to decide on an airline and benefits that we're going to provide with a certain value. And we had also, within the 10 minutes, had to present what we came up with. Now, it was, we were supposed to create a brand new airline, and we had a budget of 5,000 euros. And then we had cards with the benefits, which each benefit had a certain value of the benefit, and we were supposed to select the benefits within the budget that we had. Now, I have to say we had, I think, fun with what we were doing because, we had a lively discussion. I think we had fun, and I think the training or the stuff, because I went through a few assessments already, and in Emirates, very many of them, it kicked in what I learned, what I kind of thought that they want to see. And of course, if you are going for normal cabin crew, I think they would want to see something else than for the purser, because for the purser, I think they already want to see a little bit of the leadership in there. So it was good. I think we did well. They said that they saw that we had fun with it, so it was good, but we didn't manage to present it within the 10 minutes. We thought we had the time, but they told us we don't, and you don't want to fight with them at that point. So we just said, you know what, doesn't matter. We were a little bit sad about it because we didn't manage to present it to them. However, once we got back to the lobby, we actually realized we didn't do that bad, because some people didn't manage, they ran out of the time, some people went over the budget. So everyone had some sort of mistake in that, so to say. So that was task number 3. After task number 3, we were, again, because we were doing it in groups, we were waiting in the lobby, and I think the lobby actually became our second home, because after that we spent most of the time in there. They said we had a little bit of a break till they consult and deliberate in the closed rooms, behind the closed doors, the outcome. And after, let's say, about 20 minutes, they came back and they said, another elimination round is here, and they're gonna let us know what was going on, who passed, who didn't pass, and basically what will happen next. Now, they also told us that we will have about 1 or 2 minutes to say goodbyes if we need to the people who didn't make it through. And, it's life. And they said, you have 1 year to apply again, which was a little bit harsh, but I mean, it is what it is. Now, after that one, actually 3 of our colleagues were eliminated. So we quickly said goodbye and went back to the meeting room, where we got instructions for the next task. Task number 4. Once we congregated in the room, we were actually told more information about the task. We got a question, or let's say a topic on a card. So each person got a different topic. With that topic, we were supposed to present a short presentation to about 3 to 5 minutes on a flip chart. So we got a flip chart. We got a time to prepare. We actually got, I think, about 45 minutes to prepare the presentation, or 1 hour, I think, something like that, together with a break for lunch, because it was a lunchtime. So let's say altogether we got 1.5 hours time to prepare the topic on the flip chart. And they told us that straight after the presentation of the flip chart, we actually gonna have the final interview at the same time. Well, talking about it and looking back at it, and actually at that time, I actually said, well, we are finishing quite early, we already final interview and talking about it, and it's, let's say, midday, so it's gonna go very fast. So, at the beginning, they told us you're gonna be there the whole day till 6, so get ready. So I was like, oh, we're gonna be done by 3, so awesome. Well, we were preparing the topics. My topic was what qualities or characteristics should an ideal person have. That was my topic. So, we had a lunch break, and none of us took it. All of us took it because we had the time, but none of us really went for lunch. We all stayed in the hotel. So we kind of kept talking while working on our flip chart. My flip chart was literally very simple, because they told us it's up to you. You don't have to have a flip chart. You can just talk about it. But literally, I just have 3 or 4 bullet points with how the ideal person should look like. And I said, I'll talk about it later. So I had my notes aside with more info, what I should say, what I should do. So that was me. And, the rest we spent talking about, what do we know about Eurowings? What do we think it's going to look like working for them? More information about, salary, how the scheduling is going to look like, and stuff like that. So it was really cool. The time flew and it was great. Now, what happened after? So once it became the time when we were supposed to present and do the final interview, what actually happened is they all told us to go to the lobby where the coffee machine was, and the water and tea. And so we went to the lobby, and they said, we're gonna call you one by one. So now it's gonna be waiting time, so get comfy, and let's see. Now, at the same time, they told us whoever is not doing the final interview with the presentation right now will have to do psychometric test. And they said basically everyone joining Lufthansa group will have to do the psychometric. So the rest of us went to the room. They distributed tablets or laptops to us, and we were doing the psychometric tests. I mean, the psychometric test is not pass or fail. They literally just test your, I think, characteristics, your personality, how you fit into you are introvert, extrovert, you are a calm person, you are a rather explosive person, or you are, detail oriented or stuff like that. So it's not pass or fail. You just should answer the questions truthfully, not really. They even said, like, do not really think about them that deep, because then it might kind of come inconclusive or something. So we were doing the psychometrics while the other people were doing the presentations and the final interview. Now, gosh, guys, that was really a waiting time, because for one person to finish the presentation with the final interview, it took ages. So it took, let's say, half an hour to 45 minutes for one person. And they had not groups, but they have 2 doors where the final interviews were happening. So 2 people at the same time. So we literally were finished with the final interviews at around 5 or 6 p.m. It was really, really long. And, I remember I told you it was really cold, the hotel. So you can imagine it was cold and we were waiting and we were tired and we were hungry. So not really ideal situation. Now, it became the time for me. So I went in to do the final interview. And first we started with the presentation with the flip chart. So I had about 3 to 5 minutes presentation about what characteristics the ideal person should have. It was more like talking about it. They didn't really ask any questions. They just listened. So that was the first part. The final interview. So that was the long part, and the part where they literally ask you questions, and they were looking for answers, and how would you fit into Eurowings? How would you fit into the flying pattern? They also ask you about your experience back home, because no back home, but back flying, because of course for Purser, for senior, you had to have experience already. They ask questions about the wings pattern, if you know how it works, if you think you can make it, how would you manage? They also ask you, there was 2 types of people, or more types, for example. So there was a group of people, somebody like me, who flown before for different airline, but it's a while already ago, and they currently do not have the cabin crew license, so they would have to get a new one. So meaning we'll have to get the initial training, which is usually longer. Then there was another group of people who were flying currently. So they were flying currently a different airline, different plane. So for example, Eurowings have Airbus fleet. So Airbus fleet. There were people flying currently for Ryanair. Ryanair has only Boeing fleet. So what that means is that those people would actually have to go for conversion training, where they have the basics, which are the same, and then they will have to go for the conversion training so they can actually receive a license for Airbus aircrafts. And then there was, of course, people who are already flying for a different airline, but flying Airbus. So I think for them also the training is very similar, just conversion or a little refresher or stuff like that. So they were asking these kind of questions, and then part of the final interview was also a scenario which they wanted to see how you would deal with that situation. Now, my scenario was, I think, I don't think it was difficult, but again, the Emirates training kicked in. So my scenario was that we are on the aircraft, the flight is delayed already by half an hour or 1 hour. The captain didn't tell the passengers any information. Nobody knew what was happening. And back in the biz class or business class, I had a frequent flyer who I previously delegated to welcome back this customer by another colleague who didn't do a really good job. So he was complaining about her, and also that he has no information about the delay. So that was my scenario. My training kicked in. If you want to know how to deal with such a situation, let me know. I can also do another video about it. My colleagues actually who were on the interview with me, they had cabin crew conflict situation. How would you deal with it? And another person had a situation that they basically had no catering on board, and the passengers demanded food and water and such, and what would she do? So that was the scenarios. I mean, the questions itself after that were kind of okay, what to do with Eurowings and the pattern and everything. What actually surprised me was that, they wanted to know everything straight away on that spot. So with the wings pattern, you have different options. So for example, you have the part-time where you off-peak period. So in winter in Europe, the off-peak periods, you fly for 17 days on. So the duty on is 17 days and 13 days off. And on high peak periods, you fly the 2010 as before, or you have the full time where you non-stop have the 20 on, 10 off. So they wanted to know which one you would like to participate in already on that spot. And they said that it's, binding. So if you decide now, you cannot change it later. More information coming up because I wanted to tell you something, but I'll finish the story first. So once we all done this, we again were put together and waiting time till they deliberate basically who they will want to see with Eurowings, as it was final interview, and who they will say goodbye to. Now again, it was a long waiting time when we were waiting for the final decision. They finally came out. They told us, the people, that they actually will be eliminating again. 2 of us left, so they said goodbye to 2 people. So out of the 14, 2 people left now. So then we have 12. 3 people were eliminated in the other round, so that means 5. And actually 1 person, the person I knew from Emirates, where we used to live in the same building, actually decided halfway through that it's not for him and that he left as well. So that means 14 minus 5 minus 1, so 14 minus 6, so 8 of us stayed. 8 of us, gosh, I thought I couldn't do math anymore. So yeah, 8 of us stayed. So 8 of us stayed. What happened then was that, we quickly said goodbye again to the people who are leaving us, and the rest went back to the conference room. Now, in the conference room, they told us more about the training, how it's going to work, what do we need to do next. So they told us, you need to fill out the background check application, you need to apply for medical check, you need to, something else was there we needed to do. And they also told us, now it's the time when you will tell us as well when you can start. And now it's pretty difficult because they again told you have to tell us now when you start, but we don't tell you now when the training's going to be. So, and again, they said it's binding. So I was a little bit worried because initially I let them know that I can start 1st of February, which at the time meant that if I really was about to start 1st of February, I would have to give notice at my work the next day. So I postponed it to 1st of March, and I decided, it will give me time. They will let us know the training later on. So I changed it. Once we did that, they asked us if we want to take pictures. So we all took pictures in the hotel lobby. There was a Christmas tree, so we used the Christmas tree to take the picture in there. And also they advised us to create a WhatsApp group. So we had a WhatsApp group with all the participants, and they said, it's better if you communicate all together, you keep the information flowing, and it's also good if you have more questions, so you have one contact person that will communicate with us and then share the information. So that's what we did. I will put the picture right here so you can see the picture that we took. And yeah, that was it. It was a very long day. It was tiring, but at the end, we were all happy that we made it. I'll let you know that I was a little bit stressing about the start date because I didn't know when to give my notice and everything. Well, I received the training dates a little bit later. Didn't start until April 2024. So still have time now. But yeah, I'm looking forward, and I will let you know more how it went, how is it flying, and I will take you with me on the trips.